how I'm gonna set off all my shits. Yo, check this out, man. Somebody sent me a message. I didn't even know I had an inbox through YouTube. But I've seen a couple of messages and I gotta catch up with some folks. I apologize, man. We're gonna link up. We're gonna do something together. Get to know each other, do something live, do a little back and forth, get up on your platform. You know, one of these days I'll invite people on my platform too, I guess. I don't know how to, and we'll just do like a Google Voice, Google Chat type of thing. But, wagwan people, this is Marwan Tomodachi. Mind over motherfucking matter TV. Got an inbox just because somebody wanted me to talk about this. Check out these flowers behind me though. Peep that. That's my squad in the back, you know what I mean? My squad of beauty. Somebody sent me an inbox, wanted me to talk a little bit about Amber Rose. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Because I touched on it a little bit in like 2 videos from this one. But this one's going to be a little bit more in-depth. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes because it's sort of a serious topic that a lot of people like to take sort of lightly, you know, or they just throw their hands up and say, hey, it is what it is. They'll do what they'll do, right? People will be what they will be. Let them live, and all that shit, right? That's one angle of the argument. And the other angle is, yes, but there is a, at some point, let them live, let them be free, let them do what they want to do might actually impact someone else's life or someone else's mind or influence someone. So we got to talk about it, y'all. And so this whole topic is going to be dealing with feminism and I guess the limits of feminism, or when feminism goes wrong, that type of thing. You remember Dave Chappelle's show? He had one skit where it was called "When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong." This talk is going to be sort of about when feminism goes wrong, to the extent that's possible. And ladies, please forgive me if I miss things or mess up or whatever, but I also want you to know you all don't have a monopoly on the identity feminist. I'm not saying I'm feminist. All I'm saying is just because you're a woman doesn't mean you have a right to shut me up because the topic I'm talking about is feminism. I just want to break that down because if you look at the definition of feminism, you know, especially third wave feminism, it involves a desire to protect a lot of different people, not just women. I mean, we're talking, you know, feminism is also against classism. It's against mistreatment of straight people, straight men. There's a lot of things that falls under the rubric of feminism. But yo, this is how I want to start this topic off first. I know we're talking about Amber Rose, all right? And I know, and you should know, that Amber Rose has admitted or has come out and said she doesn't consider herself black. Take that how you want, but it's important for me to lay that out there before I hit it. When I think about this whole subject, y'all, I go all the way back to a woman by the name of Sarah Hottentot Venus. Sarah Hottentot Venus, pardon me, I don't know the exact date of when her whole situation was going down. May have been couple centuries ago. I believe while there was slavery in the States, she was in Europe being paraded around almost like a zoo. She was like her own private show. Not private show, but she was her own show. And they would sort of parade her around. I believe she was naked, or at least scantily clad. But the thing about Sarah Hottentot Venus is that she had what Prince would say, an ass like I never seen. You know, right at the base of the backyard, the behind goes out like this, bam! And you're seeing guys do that. She got a boom, and you heard from different guys, different lyrics and songs. She got an ass so fat you can see it from the front. Or you can rest your beer jug on it. Boom. Right? So Sarah Hottentot Venus was being paraded around for her body. In Europe, nobody had seen anything like that. You know, I guess they were more used to broomstick sort of figures only when it comes to women, or skinnier women. You know how it is even today. The European standard of beauty is what many are competing against, or finding themselves falling prey to. The thing about Sarah Hottentot Venus, she was paraded around, man. She was almost like a zoo. People were paying a little extra to poke her, and they were almost infatuated by her body. She had an elongated labia. She's from a tribe in Africa. I forget the name of the tribe. But people use that story to talk about women's bodies and the manipulation of women's bodies, the poking of women's bodies, the effort to put women's bodies on display for male pleasure, for male prodding and poking, for male entertainment. So that was a couple centuries ago, okay? And you've since seen different women come out. You've seen Pam Grier. You've seen the exploitation movies where the sister, you know, Foxy Brown and all that, she was sort of portrayed, for the most part, as a kick-ass hoe. We had some pimping hoe-ness going on in our blaxploitation films. There were some good blaxploitation films that I like. But there were some, you gotta admit, there was a lot of pimping and hoism, and it was exploiting, you know, the women's bodies and the males, virility, you know, the male strength. So slowly and surely, as we creep into this today of America, you begin to see the sort of the objectification of black bodies, specifically black female bodies in cinema. Then you start to see it slowly in music. Yo, I need y'all to understand something, because Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z's album, I was arguing against women. I was saying he's misogynist. The girls in college, young women in college, were saying otherwise, were saying I'm bugging, and they were saying it's just music. And I'm not from New York. Some of them are from New York. I only bring that up to tell you that when I saw Lil' Kim, you should know what my reaction was. I mean, maybe not, because I'm a guy, and you might think I'm a typical guy, and you might think, oh, I know what your reaction was, nigga. You did like everybody else. You was busting off on her pictures. No, I am aware that the cover of one of her albums where she's squatting down on her tiptoes, she's got heels on, I believe, legs spread wide open. I believe that picture is probably the #1 target for inmate semen in the world. I guarantee you that picture is #1 on everybody's cell wall. So when I saw her, y'all, I need y'all to understand something. It really kind of blew my mind. Like, wow. I mean, like you all may have figured out, I grew up with sort of a conservative mother, you know. Like I said, conservative mother. She's like teaching my sisters, don't let no men feel like they can get their hands on you or pay for your dinner, which they might think leads to some sex. Nah, my mother was on top of it. My mother was figuring out that, you know, men are playing games and some women are stupid enough to fall for them. So that's my mother right there. So when I saw Lil' Kim, part of me was like, damn, girl, you got a fat ass, or she looked kind of tight. But at the same time, I was like, whoa, you know, I got 2 sisters. I was like, hell nah. She's actually coming out, basically talking about her skills, talking about her dick sucking skills, talking about her fucking skills, how everybody, you know, she was basically acting out everything that a man was saying in his videos about bitches. She was acting that out, and she embraced that shit and called herself the queen bitch. And that there began a sort of self-imposed misogyny. You know, you had this era where women were coming out on their own volition, you know, maybe because they saw how the game was rigged and they saw how so many women would get by if they would just take off a bra, you know, wear some thongs, and boom, they're in there. So what I saw happening with Lil' Kim is that people were seeing her as feminist. People were seeing her as taking ownership of her body, and if she wants to show it to everybody, let her do it. So I think Lil' Kim, and like I said, there's some history behind it, Lil' Kim set that all off. To the point where today, in 2017, these ladies are Hottentot Venuses that we see today. Hottentot Venuses. Because instead of, and then what's important about that last story I was telling you about Sarah Hottentot Venus, is that I believe she went to court. I mean, there was a group, an African-related group in England that was trying to get whoever she was working for to stop parading her around. And I believe she was part of the effort to, you know, to be a part of. She kind of wanted to do that in a sense. I don't want to say that because you know how it is. Back in those days, you may want to do something, but you don't really have any power. But today, women have power. Women have more options, I believe. But the visuals are extra now because, as I told you about the natural curve of the backyard of Sarah Hottentot, where you got these Sarah Hottentots that are doing everything they can surgically to get that same ass. I don't know if it's for male entertainment. I don't know if it's for male and female entertainment, for money, for access into the industry, whatever you want to call it. That's what's going down. It's like this crazy epidemic where women feel less than unless they had some of that ass. Take, for example, Cardi B. I feel sorry for so many women, and a couple have even died trying to get their ass injected with coke, C-A-U-L-K, or whatever, like liquid concrete in their ass so they can look like Sarah Hottentot Venus. And so they can be on everybody's videos, they can be in everybody's whatever. Kim Kardashian, not even black. She is totally changed. She did something to her lips, probably to her jaw, head, breast, definitely. You know, Kanye West, he definitely created her. You know how in some of these video games, you can create a prototype player? That's what some of these ladies are doing. They're creating their best, what they would think their best body. And they're risking their lives at the same time. And that's very dangerous, these Sarah Hot and Fat Venuses. Which brings me to Amber Rose. First, let me tell you this. I haven't met Amber Rose. For all intents and purposes, from what I hear, she's a great person. So this has nothing to do with who you are as a person, really. Because all of that goes out the door if you have no morals, if you have no real love of self. And I think Amber might actually have love of self. I'm not willing to say she's a hoe, but she kind of does hoe-ish things. You know, she's got this recent picture out with her sort of laying down on a flight of stairs, basically naked. She's got a bra on, but this is all out. She's got her legs together, but you can see her bush. You can see her Amber Rose bush. And she did that photo in an effort to bring awareness to bring back the bush. That's her thing. And she calls that a feminist movement to bring back the bush, to help women, I guess, to empower women again, to see the value in their pubic hair. Not only to see the value, but to possibly show it. I mean, what do you think is next? I mean, people are out here saying, oh, girls are going to look at that and want to, next thing you know, people are going to be walking around naked. You've heard of Amber Rose's slut walk. She's taking the word slut that many men hurl her way without knowing her. She's taking that word slut and owning it and saying, all right, I'll be that. Like Redman say, I'll be that. If you want to call me this shit, I'll be that. Like, sort of like a lot of black people call themselves nigga, maybe, or call themselves thug. Tupac, right? Although T-H-U-G, the hate you give, thug life, little infants, fear, frustrates everyone. He flipped not only the word, but he gave it a new meaning. Amber Rose does a slut walk, which means she gets all these women together and they can come out basically wearing anything. There's a fad now where you're wearing these shirts that show the women's nipples, and men were supposed to just look and just turn away. Look and turn away. So I'm afraid what's going on now is this Sarah Hottentotification of the black community, all for money, all for fame, all for shine, all for a name. A lot of these ladies, they don't have talent otherwise. I think Amber Rose is trying to get into the acting. She may have skills there, but so far it's just ass. Kim Kardashian got crazy money, and to me, it's just ass. You got a lot of video vixens out here who go through the surgery to fix up their ass so they can really get on everybody's video, from Jay-Z to some of these new ones, Lil Uzi Vert and all that. So this is my overall opinion on, Amber Rose and the Sarah Hottentotification of the black community of black women. I wonder what you all think. I have not watched anybody else's breakdown of Amber Rose's picture. So I hope I'm not sounding like anybody else. I hope I'm not sounding like a prude either. because as you know, the United States history is very prudish. Think about the Quakers. You think about all the energy here that's directed at suppressing the woman. All the energy here that's directed at suppressing sexuality. All the energy here and it's a lot of hypocritical energy. It's like on one hand, you think about all the Republicans in office. They're like, no gay marriage, no gay marriage. Gayness is against the law. And at least 20 of these motherfuckers were found either with dick in their own ass, and these are all men. 20 of them at least were found with dick in their own ass or dick in their own mouth. So there's like this undercurrent of, I want to do what I want to do, but it's got to be in private. And on top of that hypocrisy and that fake shit is this whole prude shit where it says you have to behave a certain way and women have to wear dresses below the knee, and she can never wear leggings, or she can never wear thongs. Thongs are evil. She can't wear yoga pants because those yoga pants is like the gateway to evil. All this other bullshit. So there's other things going on. And some people would try to argue, well, in Africa they walked around naked. Okay, I don't know about all that. It sounds bullshit to me. So no, I'm not a prude. Yes, I do hope that we can have a society where, men and women can coexist no matter what each other is wearing, I guess. But ladies have power. Ladies create energy. Ladies are magnetic. And I'm not saying that, hey, you deserve everything you get. What I am saying is we are in a day and age where a lot of girls are choosing to be exploited. They're choosing beyond any possibility that Sarah Hottentot Venus herself could have chosen. These women are choosing that path. You always have to wonder, where are the spaces where we feel most comfortable, most useful, most appreciated, and depending on what it is, a lot of people will go straight there, no matter what type of damage they do to their own bodies. And I think it may be at the root, some form of self-hate at the root of it. Not necessarily Amber Rose, because she's just doing what she's doing. That's another thing. It's like an individualistic society. However, it's also a society that tends to lump people together and throw them in groups and treat people based on what they think, what group they think you're in. So it's like, black folks to some degree have to have some sort of responsibility. I'm not talking about political correctness. I'm not talking about, being on your best. I'm not talking about respectability politics necessarily, where you always want to be on your best whenever in white company. You never want to eat fried chicken in white company. You never want to eat watermelon in white company. You're scared to drink your 40 ounce in white company. No, that's not me. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I want you all to observe society. I want you to look closely at how people manifest feminism. And you got to wonder, to what extent, where does feminism stop and participation in misogyny begin? You know what I mean? It's like some of these ladies, unknowingly or knowingly, or they don't give a fuckingly, are participating in maybe not their own disrespect, but further disrespect of people that they look like. These ladies, Amber Rose, they got money, they got bodyguards, they got people that can whip ass. And they're generally separated from the masses. However, when you have impressionable girls, some people would argue that Amber Rose needs to be a little bit more responsible. And of course, that's when you bring in the whole, parents got to be responsible for their own kids. And here we go. So when you're in a society that promotes individualism, sometimes any kind of individualism, especially if you got money, it promotes individualism. It promotes capitalism. So you want to capitalize on everything you can present and provoke as an individual, regardless of whatever group you're a part of, regardless of what other women think, regardless of what black people think. You got your wallet filled, and that's all that counts. So let me know what y'all think, man. This is Mao Tomodachi, Mind Over Matter TV. Oh, one love. It's a deep one, isn't it? What do y'all think, man, for real? Is this a Sarah Hottenfottification of black women going on? We're moving away from starving ourselves to be skinny and have size -1 panties, or some people are still doing that. And then you got more and more people increasingly wanting to have a fat ass because they think that's the holy grail. They think that's the ticket out of the hood even. Some ladies do look to the strip club, you know, as a ticket, as a way out. Nobody wants to do it per se, but you got a lot of rappers out here finding a lot of sisters. The more they twerk, the more they shake, and the more ass they got, the more dollar bills we throw them. And maybe, who knows, just have some sex, whatever, you know, we'll get you a record deal. But again, she's a feminist. She's allowed to do whatever she wants, right? Without concern for what other feminists think, without concern for what other women think, without concern for what her image is doing to the community. And those are the people you gotta worry about. This is Marwan Tomodachi, y'all. Thank you for coming around and checking me out. It's no longer raining, the sun is out, it's a beautiful day. But I just had to throw this out there. Shout out to, I forget the name of my friend who inboxed me just to talk about Amber Rose. No, I'm not attracted to her. I am aware that her ex-husband cheated on her, which makes you wonder, like, wow, if you think she's attractive, look at that ass. Apparently it's a natural behind, but still, why would he cheat? Why would he cheat? We forget that these people are human. We forget that these people have flaws. And sometimes the closer you get to someone, the more annoyed you are. And for some of these ladies, it's best to keep brothers at a distance, maybe to just appreciate their body, because once you get to that mind, damn, man, you're like, fuck. You don't even want none of that body if they're really crazy, y'all. Trust me. Y'all take it easy. Marwan Tomodachi, Mind Over Matter TV. One love.